Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to easily gain access to all internal parts of a Miele front loader washing machine. I will also show you a few tips when putting it all back together. The only way to get access to the internal components on these machines is from the front, which scares many people because it involves the partial removal of the door seal. The procedure is in fact very easy, and I'm sure by the end of this video you will agree. You will need a few tools for this. A T20 Torx bit or a T20 screwdriver for most screws, a T30 Torx bit for the large screw below the door seal, a modified screwdriver like this, or pointy nose pliers for the door seal retainer spring, and a sharp blade, scraper, or a Stanley knife. So before I start, I make sure the appliance is unplugged. This is the most important step because it can easily be forgotten and the consequences of that can be devastating. Now I open the door, and here's the spring that keeps the door seal retaining ring in place. I pull the spring and the retaining ring comes loose and I can remove it. Then I push the door seal from the door panel. Another way is using my homemade modified screwdriver, which I hook into one of those wire loops, and that's another way of getting it off. It goes a lot quicker. So next I'm going to remove the screws for the door lock, and then remove the soap tray. There's a couple of screws for the control panel frame, and next I'm going to use my Stanley knife or scraper to push the control panel perspex down and pry it from the upper lip and remove the two screws. The control panel slides out. Now it's time to remove the caps for the lid. The screws for the lid need to be just turned a little bit in, not too far, otherwise we lose these claws that hold the lid in place. So just a couple of turns will be enough. Now that's the lid. I'm going to get rid of that control panel, make some room here. And there's two screws behind the control panel for the control panel frame. There's a couple of clips, so careful, they can break off easily. So there's two screws for the front panel. There's actually a total of 5 screws that hold the front panel in place. There's another 2 behind this plinth cover. And there's the big bolt, the T30 bolt that holds the front panel to the frame. Now those 2 screws on the bottom come out. And here's the whole front panel out. The whole procedure takes only a few minutes. So now I can remove the side panels. There's 9 screws for each side panel, 3 in the front, 3 in the back, and 3 on top. And I remove all those screws. And the side panels just come off. So here we are. As you can see, you can easily access pretty much every single component, and that will save you lots of time on many repair and service jobs. I will post more videos that show how these jobs can easily be done, but for now I'll show you the reassembly procedure. So once the repair job has been completed and the side panels go back on, there's only one way they can fit on the machine. So put the screws all back in. So there's a total of 9 screws, 3 in the front, 3 on top, and 3 on the back. So next I make sure that I get the orange tab for the door lock release mechanism into the little slot where we access the strainer on the front panel. And then I'm going to put the big bolt right under below the door seal. I'll put that in place first. And then there's 2 screws that go on the top and the 2 on the bottom, of course. Then I'm going to secure the door lock, and then I'm going to apply some soapy water around the bead where the door seal sits on the front panel. So this, I've got to put a bit more love into that part of the job. So the door seal needs to go quite nicely over that bead, and it must sit evenly on that bead, which is actually quite the way it will fit in eventually. So we're going to put a bit of soapy water around the outer part of the door seal and around the retaining ring. Then we're going to use my special tool, stretch that spring a little bit, and at the same time on the opposite side I'll push that retaining ring over the bead, and the door seal is in place. Clean up the mess a little bit. Don't forget the 2 screws on the bottom for that front panel. And now I'm going to put the control panel back in place. There's only one way the connectors fit there, they're keyed, so we can't really go wrong there. So the frame goes in place, 2 screws, don't forget these, don't break the clips when you put the frame back in. And the control panel goes back in place with its 2 screws, left and right. Now there's also a good time to clean up the muck around the switches with a bit of soapy water and a toothbrush. And the soap drawer goes back in place, the cover on the bottom goes back in. The perspex for the control panel slides into the bottom of the frame, and then I'm going to use a Stanley knife or a sharp blade to force it under the top lip of the frame. So I've got to be careful because it can break easily, and the back of that perspex is painted, so you don't want to scratch that. When it comes to the lid, the screws for the lid can be a bit tricky. That screw actually screws into a little claw. See, when I turn the screw clockwise, the claw comes towards me, anti-clockwise, and it moves away from me. If I turn that too far, I will lose that claw. That claw goes under this side panel and holds the lid in place. So the lid hooks into the tabs on the back of the machine, and then I need to wiggle it around a bit so that it goes into place, and then I tighten the screws that pull the claw under the top lip of that side panel. I obviously have to do that on both sides. And now to complete it, I replace the caps so that it looks like a new machine again. And that's it, ready for a test run. Thanks for watching. If my video helped you fix your Miele appliance, then please subscribe to my channel or leave a nice comment.